Greetings, everybody. Patrick here. 8 questions with Cheetah Will View, and welcome to the show. It is a beautiful night here in southeastern Michigan. It is 80 degrees, very pleasant, very sunny, yeah. And we are here, and we will be talking to someone we have not talked to in a couple of years. Young artist, actor, and writer, and singer-songwriter, and novelist, and all around great guy. Khalil Neal is going to be here shortly. And we're going to be talking about his novel he wrote, Bound to Eternity, or Bound to Destiny, I think it is, Bound to Destiny. Though Bound to Eternity is not bad. Could be a good sequel. Bound to Destiny. And it's a legitimate book. It's one of those books you find at Barnes and Noble. Yeah, the young man wrote himself a novel. I also know he's been dabbling in music and filmmaking. And right now, he has started his series. He's done 2 Tennessee Bigfoot movies, and he's working on the 3rd one. And so we'll be talking to him about all things in Bigfoot. Of course, that's a real popular subject here around these parts. I don't know how that. I still don't know how that started, but it is here to stay. I'm still blaming Mr. Dan for this. Hi, Jamie. How are you? All right. Glad you're here. And Anthony's here. Going to be doing a Chabot Con here in a minute. He's gonna do a one-man convention. So that'll be entertaining. Yeah. Glad you guys are here. So last time Khalil was here, he was actually a minor. He was, I think he was 17. And so generally don't, as a rule, the rule for me is I don't interview minors. I have done it a couple of times, but I don't do it out on, I'm not kidding you. I went inside a IMDb group on Facebook, and I put a open call out and say if anybody wanted to interview. I got like 3 or 4 different parents. Not kidding you. I got like 3 or 4 parents that wanted me to interview their 10-year-old or 9 and 10-year-olds. I wish I could say I was joking about that, but I'm not. And obviously I said, no, hell no. The only time I would ever talk to a minor is only if their parent is in the same room. It's the only way that ever happens. But I've only done it 3 times. I've only, actually, I take it back. I think it's only been twice that out of 600 interviews. I think I've only interviewed minors twice. So it'd be nice to talk to Khalil. Though his dad was super cool last time, so we're gonna hopefully have him back tonight, because I think Khalil's mom and dad are really, really cool people. They have a really talented son, and they are letting him just grow into those feet. He's gonna go places for sure. There's no doubt about that. And his parents are supporting him very much so. And I think that's really fun. I think that's really cool. Let's see. Christmas is doing well. All right. Oh, that's right. That's your dog. That's your dog's name. Yeah, I gotta take Paladin to the vet next Tuesday. Taking him to the vet and having him have an exam. Hopefully he'll be fine. Won't be anything major. He is 14 years old though. He's gonna be 15 in September. I cannot believe that. I got him when he was around 2 years old, and he'll be with me 13 years come September. So he's gonna be turning 15. But since cats have been known to live for 25 or 26 years, we're still in good shape. All right. So this month has been sort of slowish, but July is going to be crazy here on the channel. We are Brother Max is here. Holy cow! Stand aside, everybody. Brother Max is in the house. Greetings, sir. Greetings. I was watching one of my old interviews, and I saw the Ice Lord pop up in the chat, and man, it brought back some memories already, and sure do miss him. He's the one that introduced me to Brother Max. I met you through Wes. So July is going to be crazy busy here. I have not been this busy uh, in a long time. I went ahead, and Jamie knows this. She's still here. I went ahead and put out an open call again. I put it out, and this time I put it out in independent horror movie for filmmakers. You know, anybody have a completed movie they want to talk about? Let's talk about it. A lot of people want to talk. A lot of people want to talk. So I'm sure they're going like, well, where the hell is this guy? I have been moving slowly. Basically what I do is I'm booking a show, and then I'm making a banner for it right then and there. Because I have so many shows coming up, I need to get the banners out as soon as they confirm. I'm already making their banners, filling out the calendar dates. So far in July, so far we have a lot. I even got one more I haven't even put on here. So we have 2, 4, 2, 4. We got 7 shows booked already in July, and actually that will be I'm making a banner for it right now, and then I'll go and grab some more folks. And I'm really happy to know this to say that who we got. We got Daniel Bowers is going to be with us on the July 1st. Jamie Hill, who's in the chat right there, she will be coming by for a visit on July 2nd. On the 6th of July, our good friend Tremaine Hayho will come by. I'm surprised Tom hasn't come by yet, but Tom will be very happy to see that I got Tremaine to come back and hang out with us on July 6th. And we'll be talking about Tremaine's new movie that's coming out, and also he is starting a film festival, the Golden Bear Film Festival up in Folsom, California, which is right outside Sacramento. And so we'll be talking with Tremaine on the 6th. Maybe Cattown 2 news, could be. He was teasing me about it. Maybe we'll see. And with that, the doorbell has rang. So you know what that means. Whenever our guest shows up, we go get them. We don't ever like to make anybody wait. So please welcome back the very talented Khalil Neal. Let's do it.
Hello.
Ta-da!
Hey.
Greetings.
I'm
Here,
so sorry. I cannot hear anything.
You can't hear me?
Hold on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make the room bigger.
He had to wear earbuds last time, I think.
Okay. Okay, I thought I heard a voice back there. We hear him. Mhm. I personally blame in Bigfoot. I think the Bigfoot must have did something with the speakers. And he's back. All right. You hear me all right?
Huh?
Do you hear me okay?
It's kind of low. My phone's on all the way up.
Okay. Let's see if I can. I'll speak a little louder. Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right now?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna connect these real quick. Okay, can you speak?
Oh my God! Look, is that the dad? Yeah. All right. We got the team. We got the team reassembled. How are you, Mr. Neal? Oh, I can't even see. I thought I saw. Is there one other person in there besides?
Okay.
Okay,
What was that?
I thought I saw both. Did both your parents come by and make it a cameo?
Mom's not. Mom's here, but she's not.
Mom's not. All right.
We're good. Okay, so I think we're good.
All right. How are you guys
Might
doing?
talk a little loud, but I can hear you pretty good.
How are you doing today, Khalil?
Good, you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Man, I think the last time you and I talked with your dad, we had you were just 17.
I was 19 actually, yeah.
The first time we talked?
I'm 21 now.
No, I think you. Wow. Maybe it's been longer than I thought then.
Yeah.
I would have to go back and see. I thought it was just 2 years. Maybe it was 4 years.
Yeah. He's 21 right now. He was 19 at the time of the first interview in March 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was 16 when he started filming the movie, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it
now
was later. It took about 3 years to complete the first one. The next two came much quicker.
Well, yeah. I mean, the first one, it's always the hardest. You talk to any filmmaker, they will tell you that the very first project they do is the toughest one. Because after that, with every movie that they do after that, they apply what they learned from the other movie, and they slowly just build their tool chest as they go forward. So
it was definitely easier to make the second movie when I started making it, because I just did what I learned with the first one.
I was really happy. I mean, it's funny because when you first mentioned about doing a creature feature and a found footage film, that was actually pretty. Looking back at it now and seeing what you've been doing since we talked, I'm not really surprised by it. That you took that project on. I'm not surprised at all. Because you have a drive that I rarely see. You really want to go somewhere, and
I do. I really do.
Yep, and I think I think we talked about this before when we talked the first time, but you got an amazing pair of parents.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, some kids just don't, young people, they don't really understand that until they get older. But I think that you do, and they definitely do that. They know that they have a special son, and you got really special parents. It works.
Oh yeah, really thank you. I appreciate that. We always love on each other all the time, and we just grew up in a loving environment, and we make it easy to love each other.
Yeah, we have a great family dynamic.
Oh yeah,
we're very thankful for that.
Definitely.
Yeah, it because when I saw the because I knew you were doing the first Tennessee Bigfoot, and then you mentioned you were doing the second one and doing the third. And I'm going like, you know what? He's creating a franchise.
Yeah.
You're actually making your own franchise, which a lot of people love that sort of thing. Well, they love Bigfoot for one thing, and they also love franchises. So a lot of times, horror fans will, once they find out someone has put out more than one movie at a time, in a franchise, they get really excited. And they start wanting to see it. And they start wanting to see what you're going to be doing next. So what? How did you? How was the first Bigfoot received? Because I don't think it was quite out when we talked the first time. I think you were still filming it.
Yeah, the first Bigfoot movie did very well. We had the world premiere at our local Palace Theater in my hometown, Crossville, Tennessee, and we had
almost 200 people.
Almost 200 people, yeah, show up. People were actually lining down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad that more small towns don't do that. I think it's really neat when a local person makes a film or a record or something like that, or a novel, and they come out there and they roll out and they support that. I think it's 200 people to come out to your local support, and they all want to see what you did.
Yeah.
How was it? What was it like for you, Kal-El, to look on the screen and see you on the screen and see people, reacting to your acting?
It was a very good experience. I don't know. It was just very fun. It's very fun to meet fans who want to support your stuff, and it's very fun to have people see your work and see what they want to see. Plus, you get to see their reactions with stuff they might have liked more. And then you could do that in the sequel. You could see what they liked the most, see what they reacted to the most in the first movie, and then put that in the sequel. So yeah.
Yeah, there were actually parts in the first one where they laughed and it wasn't necessarily supposed to be funny. So we incorporated that into the second one a little bit. And there was some parts that they gasped and jumped and were scared, like jump scared, that we didn't expect that either. So we kind of gauged the audience's reaction and kind of incorporated that into the second and now the third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's weird. It seems like it happens more and more. Like the big thing people want to make in a horror movie is they want to make it into a horror comedy. And I got to be honest with you, I like horror comedy, okay, but it's definitely not my favorite. If I'm watching a horror movie, I want to be scared. I want to jump. I want to be disturbed. I think there's too many now that are trying to be cute. Let's throw in a line here or some sort of annex here, and it just throws off the movie. And I'm like you said, I'm sure you're standing there engaging their reactions. Now, were you taking notes of this? Like what worked and what didn't work? Did you write notes as you're watching the premiere?
Probably more mental notes than anything. I'll just tell it since the movie's already out there a little bit. We're not giving anything away. Part 1 and 2 are available on eBay, so a lot of people have seen them. Mm-hmm. But I remember in part 1, they were laughing when the Bigfoot he comes back to his campsite and the Bigfoot had knocked over his tent, disheveled everything. For some reason, the audience got a big kick out of that. Maybe it was his reaction. Maybe I'm not sure, but they got a kick out of that. And so it was unintentional humor at that point. Yeah. And the second one, he's running away from the Bigfoot and gets nailed in the back of the head with a big rock. So wasn't meant to be funny. People thought that was funny for some reason. It's one of those things that everybody had a lot of fun though. And then, like I said, there's other parts where people are scared, to jump out of their skin unexpectedly. We had a young man sitting a couple rows in front of us in the balcony. And there was one point where the Bigfoot jumps out, kind of a jump scare, and he literally threw his arms up in the air and threw his popcorn and everything up in the air. So that was quite the reaction. Yeah. And he in turn scared the people on the row behind him. So it was kind of a domino effect with the jump scare there. So there's a wide range of emotions that you see playing out as people are watching the films. So it's a lot of fun.
That's sort of fun though, because my buddy Catfish and I we went to see a movie, and I had already seen the previews for The Shallows, and I knew that he hadn't. And it came on, and we're just talking, and I was sitting there, just waiting for it to, because it's a great jump scare, and we're just sitting there watching the previews, just talking and stuff. He's talking to me while he's eating popcorn, and then the part comes out where the shark comes through the water, and he jumped 10 miles up. I was like,
yes.
wow, I didn't know a human being could go that high off a theater chair. Of course, I'm laughing, and I'm laughing my ass off, and he goes, "You saw this already, haven't you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "What? You didn't even know?"
No, man. I'm just that cool. I'm just that calm.
yeah. I had no idea until you jumped 10 feet that there was anything going on.
Right.
So after the first one, it came out and did really well, and you mentioned, I saw that you mentioned that you put it out, the first two you put out on eBay, so you did end up making physical copies to sell.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I have them right here actually.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So if they, I'll have to get the link for that from your eBay and put that down below so people can buy Tennessee Bigfoot for sure.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we put the link down for your book, which really caught me by surprise. When I saw that I saw the video, and you're going like, my book's here, and I'm going like, wait, I thought he's making movies. And then you did the
I do a little bit of everything.
Right. I saw you open up the box, and I'm going like, okay, it's gonna be one of those, a book is gonna be like 100 pages or so. You see those a lot, but no, you pull out one of those big thick novels, like hardback. Oh, yeah. Wow, you wrote a book. Look at that. How many pages is that, Khalil?
700 plus.
715. And it has tiny print too. So I had a lot of ideas for this book. I actually had to delete some because it was too big.
Hey, the Stephen King wrote The Stand. It was over 1,000 pages.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So let's talk a little bit about the book, Bound to Destiny, right?
Yes. So
the title and the cover look young adult. Is that who you're aiming for?
Yes, it is young adult.
Now, where did you get the idea to do that? I mean, no 21 or 20-year-old sits down there and says, "I'm going to write myself a 700-page book." They may read them, but they don't necessarily write them. So where did that come from?
I grew up, my mom introduced me to like Nicholas Sparks films, so I always kind of loved like rom-coms, drama, romance, all that fun stuff, and I don't know, besides horror, I think romance is my second favorite genre. So I can become very passionate when it comes to those kinds of stories, like I do horror with Tennessee Bigfoot. So I don't know, just the ideas just started to come up in my head. That's just what happens. They just randomly pop up in my head. It's as simple as that, and it just wouldn't stop. It was just so much going on, and I just could not stop writing. And yeah.
A year and a half.
Now,
I was writing it for like a year and a half. Too.
Now, is this something that he picked up? Did he pick this up from you, Mr. Neal? Did he pick this up from you, or as far as in terms of the writing goes, because I'm like you, I read my mom's books. I read her romance books too.
Yeah. What was the first thing you said picked up?
What was the first part of the question?
Where did the writing aspect of it go? When it come from? Was that you? Were you a writer? Are you a writer, or is your wife a writer as well? Like, or that just totally on your own?
That was just for me. I am a writer.
Journal.
I journal all the time. Like I live my life day to day, and I journal everything that I do too. So
Yeah, I have to admit, I used to write a lot more. Yes, our good friend Mr. Dan is here. We should stop. We'll stop right here just to tell you what's going on with Mr. Dan. So after you and I first met, and because at the time we knew a little bit about Tennessee Bigfoot, but not a whole lot because you were still in the process of making it. Well, in the course of this time, our good friend Mr. Dan in the chat room, he started he has his own channel, and he started racing Hot Wheel cars in his backyard a couple of years ago. And he had a Yeti Hot Wheel and he had a Bigfoot Hot Wheel. And so they were racing each other. And then
that's fun.
Yeah, everything seemed really nice and a lot of fun, but then somehow something got said, something cut off on the track or whatever. But there was a Bigfoot Yeti beef going on. They weren't seeing eye to eye on the track. There was some bumping on on the downhill. And so we were like really curious about that, like, what's going to happen with those two, because you can't be having a Yeti and a Bigfoot fighting in a car race. So yeah, so after that, then Bigfoot has spread everywhere. There's like 2 or 3 different channels that have just absolutely embraced the Bigfoot. And I think that we can go back to I think we can go back and lay this right at your feet, because I think you probably started it with with Tennessee Bigfoot. Now, are you guys now? If I'm not mistaken, you guys do both live in Tennessee, right? I mean, you guys all live in Tennessee, okay? Because I was gonna say I do believe that. I don't think you write about a Tennessee Bigfoot and still live in Kentucky or anything like that.
Yeah.
So Mr. Dan is he's also a big Bigfoot fan. That's why he said that someone mentioned Bigfoot. So here you are. You got your first movie underneath your belt, and now you're just writing. Now, how did you plot it out? Had you had any training at all? Like, did you take English courses or writing courses or journalism courses? Or is it just one of those things where you sat down with a recorder and talked your ideas into the recorder and then brought it to the page?
I didn't do anything. I didn't take any courses or anything. I actually write down all of my ideas on my phone, on my Google Docs files, whenever they come up.
So, Mr. Neal, what was your reaction when Kalel said, "Dad, Mom, I'm writing a novel"?
Nothing with this kid surprises me at this point. He's multi-talented. I mean, he can act, he can direct movies, he can produce movies, he can produce music. We might talk about that a little bit later. He's a great writer. I knew he had it in him, so we just support him 100%. And he's not limited. He doesn't put himself in a box. He's not either this or that. He can be many things. So I was very proud of him, very supportive, and we said, man, go for it.
Yep.
Thank you.
I think that's really cool about this is that you're one of those, that's why I was sort of hoping that you would continue your Bigfoot story because, and maybe expand it a little bit, work on it a little bit more because I love as much as I love Bigfoot, and I do. What I'm thinking about, and I'm sure you caught this, but you've been watching what's been going on with the YouTubers, filmmakers, right?
Mm-mm.
Have you've heard about Obsession?
A little
And
bit, but not a lot.
have you heard of Shelby Oaks?
No.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't have enough knowledge on her.
So, well, here's what's going to be going on. This is it's it seems like there's a lot of young filmmakers on YouTube who've done things on the tube, on their channel, and now Hollywood turns around and starting to look, starting to see what people are doing on YouTube. And so there's a guy named Markiplier who did a movie called Iron Lung. There was Curry Barker who did Obsession. Obsession made over $200 million.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that one.
Yes. And then there's another one named Kane Parsons who did Backrooms.
Yes, I love that one.
Oh, you like that one?
I did. I'm one of the only people that did, or it has a lot of mixed reviews, but I thought it was good. Well, I have a little video on my TikTok about it. I said it was good but weird, and it does mess with your head. And I think it really did a good job. I thought the acting was great, the cinematography was great. I do wish they had more monsters. That's all I have to say about it, but I think it opens up to sequels where that could be a possibility. So
I thought the most interesting thing about that movie was the Salvador Dali aspect of it. I like that, and I like the idea that every floor, the memory got less and less and less. So that was interesting, but they never really explored it. But overall, man, no, I can't lie. I hated it.
I got you. Teach his own.
I just, yeah. But the point of it is, enough people did not hate it that they wrote out and made over $200 million too. And I was actually thinking about you when I was actually watching this. This is before, hey, come and talk to me. I was actually, when I was watching them talk about all these YouTubers that were doing these things, I was actually thinking about you because I'm thinking, he's been making his movies too. And yeah, they may not be on the same scale right now, but he's learning just like they did. I mean, they didn't walk in there and just made Obsession out of, out of flip of a hat. It took them trial and error to do it as well. And that's how I look at the franchise with you. It's like, okay, he's cutting his teeth. He's becoming a filmmaker. I'm sort of hope that you will come back and maybe if you don't want to do, and maybe you want to wrap it up and like, okay, I've done this. I've done my first series. Now I want to do something else. I do hope that you do something else because I don't think it'll be very long if you can hit the right idea, which I'm sure you do have. I will not be surprised, Khalil, if your door gets knocked on. I really believe
thank
that.
you. I appreciate that.
I think I think someone will probably find your book first, and I think they'll probably come talk to you about it.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Would you be ready for something like that in your opinion? Or, I mean, if someone came to you and said, "Listen, I want to make Bound to Destiny into a movie," are you ready for that, or would you rather like, okay, I'm going to do another book to make sure what I did before, I really, I don't want to mean any disrespect to you, but sometimes people write it to have that flash in the pan. They'll just say it. I wrote a book because I already wrote a book. Now I can want to do something else. But I think with you, I think you have a chance here to, strike gold. I think if you can put together another book. I mean, 21 years old and having 2 published books, not very many people can say that. Not at your age.
Yeah.
But would you be ready for something like that, or would you want to wait and get a little bit more seasoned?
That is the goal for me. I would love it if any movie company came to me and was like, we want to make your book into a movie. That's honestly the dream, to be real.
My good friend Sue came in. Hi, Sue. Yeah, I thought that's what kind of reaction did you get? What kind of reaction did you get for the book? When you put it out there, it's in case you wanted to check out Kalal's book, the link is down below. It's selling on Amazon. It is a hardback.
So
Did you
It's
get
only on
published?
paperback
Did
and
you
and
self-publish?
it's on Kindle.
Did you self-publish or did a publisher pick it up?
I self-published it.
Wow, that's yeah. I thought that is impressive. That's a
Thank
big
you.
book. That's a big book. So how have the reviews been? It's the same thing as watching a movie, but book readers are very passionate and they do like to share their opinions. So what kind of reactions have you gotten from Bound to Destiny? And was this a one-off book, or was this something that you want to go back and revisit that world?
Well, the reactions to it were actually really good. I would get like messages from people. I had a book signing like a month ago. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I would get after that I got messages of people starting the book and they were just like, I'm hooked. It's really good. I'm hooked on it. And even some relatives would message me, and some of them aren't even readers, but they're just like, I'm just lost in the story. And that's a big deal for somebody who doesn't even like to read. And they're just like, oh my gosh, it's so good. What was oh yeah. It's going to, I want this to be a series as well. I have a couple more ideas for the book for the series, so it'll eventually be a series as well.
I think young adults, and you did it for young adults. Why was that? Do you feel like, I mean, some could argue that the young adult field is pretty full. There's a lot of young adult books out there. Um, are you afraid of getting lost in the wash with that? I mean, and how are you getting that book out other than Amazon? I mean, because Amazon's there's a lot of people that publish on Amazon. How are you getting the book out there to the public? I mean, have you found that to be an interesting part of the process? Or is it one that's, a little bit more difficult than you thought it would be in terms of getting
Uh,
it out?
it's a little difficult, but we do events and stuff. We set up at events, and those I would like to start doing like more book
Yes.
cons and stuff like that. Like I've been setting up at a lot of Bigfoot events to sell Tennessee Bigfoot, and that's been helping get my stuff out there. And then you can do like promotion, online promotion as well, and stuff like that.
So what's it like doing a Bigfoot convention? How many conventions have you done so far?
I don't know how many,
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Mm.
3 or 4 a year.
Yeah, 3 or 4, maybe a year.
Yeah.
But Bigfoot conventions are always very, the environment is very good. Like Bigfoot people are honestly like the nicest people you'll meet.
Yeah.
They're
How
always
could you,
very
how could you
sweet,
not how
supportive
could you
too.
not be how could you not be a nice person? And you have to be a nice person to follow to be a Bigfoot fan.
Oh
Um, yeah.
yeah.
Now during the movies though, I mean, did you believe in Bigfoot before you made the movies, or did you believe the Bigfoot and then in the Bigfoot and then you went to the convention and they convinced you that Bigfoot is real, or is
I
Bigfoot, just an imagination?
I have believed in Bigfoot my whole life.
I think Bigfoot's been around. I think Bigfoot's been around. What about you? What about you, Mr. Neal? Are you a big Bigfoot fan?
Oh, absolutely. I remember watching the $6 Million Man when I was a kid. Watching him fight Andre the Giant as Bigfoot, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Bionic Man versus Bionic Bigfoot. So yeah, I've been on board for a long time with that.
Yeah, now I'm not sure if you've seen this or not, Khalil, but the show your dad's talking about, that probably put Bigfoot more on the map of the United States than anything else that had come before that, as far as Bigfoot. Um, Andre the Giant played him in the first time, and then the second time Ted Cassidy played Bigfoot.
Yes.
And they were two of the most popular episodes of that show. And then they had Bigfoot come on the Bionic Woman. And after that, it became part of the culture.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So going back to the book, and so you set up at Bigfoot conventions, and they're taking they like the book as well. That's really neat. That's really neat. I mean, you could do a young adult book and also be known for the Tennessee Bigfoot. Where do you think it's gotten the most reception? As far as what has surprised you most about the reception of both the Bigfoot and your novel? I mean, what are some of the things that people I know? Let me put this together again. What have you been surprised by the response? I mean, did you expect it to be this good, or did you hope it to be this good, or was this way beyond your expectations?
It's kind of like hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And it's actually surprising. Like when I got like 200, almost 200 people at my premiere, I was like, and they were lining down the block to come see it. I was like so happy. I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't know. It's just a good feeling when people want to come see your stuff. And, the reactions with my book and people supporting me have been very good. And heartwarming.
What was really funny about this too was, I was, when we had you on before with Michael Cassie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys stayed in touch with each other or not. I hope that you did. I hope that you stayed in touch with him. Um, he's getting this new film company up and running, and yeah. Have you sent him your book?
I have not. No.
I would send one. I would send one to him.
Oh, well, that might be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be a really good idea.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because he you followed his footsteps whether you knew it or not. He came out there as a film, as a writer. Started as a writer, screenwriter, and then he went to become a film director. And then he wrote himself a novel as well. He got published by a publishing house. And and then he's going back to movies. And I thought about that when I saw the book in your hand when you were showing it in your unboxing. I said, if he's not taking the same steps that Michael did, doing the writing, because he loves to write. He loves to write. I mean, and then he turned around and published a book, and you published a book, and then you guys, it was an interesting track. That's why I asked if you stayed in touch with them, because I was like, I wonder if they talked about that, about that. But I will ask you this. I asked you about if Hollywood, came knocking on your door, they wanted to do your book, and you said yes. How about this? Do you think that you'll stay right where you're at in your small town or do you get the urge, or are you getting the urge to go on to a little bigger town with more of a film community and also a book writing community, or are you going to just stay there where you're at and just operate from home base?
I'll probably stay right here where I'm at.
Do you think that's a good idea, Mr. Neal? I mean, do you support that, or you think you should get out to a little bigger city and with a little bit more, diversity?
Well, and we're very fortunate to live in a modern digital age to where things aren't restricted the way they are. It's like my wife and I, we started our own herbal product company a few years ago, and we're right here in a small town. We're all over the world. We have distributors worldwide. So it's kind of the same with Cal-El in the digital age. You're not restricted to where you're at, because everyone has internet, everyone has access to your products and what you're doing. So I think he kind of has the mindset, stay here where you're happy, but make your products available to everyone, on the world stage. And anymore, a lot of things are getting filmed. Atlanta's a very big hub. It's kind of become the Hollywood of the South. That's not very far from us. So it's not like, the old days where you had to go to Hollywood to make it. Now you have a little more options, and we're thankful for that. We really are. I think it was a lot harder, in decades past to do things like this. But, we're very fortunate to live in a time that we can live in a small town and still get his products out, via the internet, basically.
Yeah, I just asked that because that seems to be a natural progression. Is a writer, once they get going, if they get published the first time, maybe the first or second time, then they tend to go to New York, or or like you said, to for acting and for filmmaking, Los Angeles, because a lot of times an artist, their talent will outstrip the little town they're in. They basically outgrow it. They need more resources. Like if you're doing, let's say you're doing Tennessee Bigfoot 4, which who knows, but let's just say here, you look down on your storyboards and you have action and scenes that you're not going to be able to really pull off in a small town, but you're going to need bigger locations. You're going to need, because your story, because the first 3 movies that you're doing is world building. The first book your first book, Bound to Destiny, it's world building. So because you mentioned you already want to think about doing a series, so you're world building right where you're at. As you advance your story, you'll need to, a lot of people feel like they need to get out to, out of their comfort zone, so to speak, to go out there and find, inspiration in, like in Atlanta. That's why, that's where I was at, saying, or is that something you thought about, like, I want to take I want to take the couple somewhere else. Or I want to, my next movie that I want to do, I want it to be a crime thriller, and I want some city action. It's basically, it's just your inner creativity is growing. And I just want to know, do you think that you can, where you're at in your town, can it contain your creativity, or or do you feel like you'll need to spread your wings?
I think I've had such a great response here. People in my town here, they love Bigfoot. And
who doesn't
basically
love
they we have a Bigfoot festival here every year, and everybody in the town, we have like 80,000 people here.
The town's only about 12, but in the county, like 60,000.
Yeah.
Locally.
So
your town of 12,000 people, and you drew 60,000 for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many people come in for Bigfoot.
I don't either. We get a lot of out of towners for the. It's called the Upper Cumberland Bigfoot Festival. It's here in Crossville, Tennessee, and we get a lot of. No, that was for the county numbers, how many people live here. But we get a lot of locals, but a lot of people, they travel from Missouri. I mean, when he set up there before, I mean, it's people from all over the country come to that Bigfoot festival. It's that big. But yeah, he does a great job here, and we give him all the resources that he needs for right now. And listen, we do have Knoxville and Nashville and Chattanooga, and he travels all across the country with us. And sometimes he films and picks up a little footage, maybe for a movie in the future, as we're along their travels, So it works out really well. But it's nice to have this hub here where we're at. And
it's a good central location.
Yeah, it's a good location. We're in the heart of Bigfoot country.
Now, okay. No, I guess the real question is: have you guys seen Bigfoot yet?
Well, we've had a couple of things happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you want to tell them yours, or get into it?
I can. Yeah, me and my daddy used to hike a lot when I was like 5 years old, and we're at this random spot, and there was a ravine, and at the other side of it there was like this Bigfoot like creature like walking on the other side of it. And to this day I still think the timing on that was crazy.
The timing was crazy.
Yeah. And it kind of walked like Patterson Gimlin, but I remember it being more brown than Patterson Gimlin. And basically it looked at me and then looked away and just kept going.
And that's when how old were you?
Probably 4 or 5 years old.
4 or 5 years old when that happened.
Way before we.
Yeah, way before any Bigfoot shows were on the air, anything like that. So he had an experience there. No, there was no bears at the time. He told me about it.
Yeah.
Of course, I missed it coming there. But yeah, we back in probably 2007, we had some things happen here on our property that just seemed very unusual. And we weren't ones going out looking for Bigfoot. There wasn't any of it wasn't as popular even in media as it is now. But we had a 240-pound mastiff dog, and he was a gentle giant. He was huge. He wouldn't hurt a fly. Laziest dog you've ever seen. He would lay in his doghouse and not. The UPS guy would bring packages up to the door, and he wouldn't even raise an eyebrow. He was that type of dog. He's very docile, very calm. And we had a large dog house for him in the front yard, and we had a run for him between 2 trees. So he had a lot of room to run around, and we'd let him run free. But like at night, we would tie him up, and he still had that run though between the 2 trees. So we were sitting here minding our own business one night, and we heard him all of a sudden start growling, barking, just making the most aggressive noises you've ever heard. And it's like, is that Samson? What's going on? It kind of set us back a little bit. So we have a back deck, and we went out on the back deck to try to see if we could hear something, whatever. First thing we try to do is turn on the floodlights. Well, for some odd reason, they decided not to work that night. And I also had a large, powerful light, like it was handheld. I don't know if it was a million candle or 10 million candle hour. It decided not to work too. So every flashlight, every light we tried to turn on did not work. I think, okay, that's kind of odd. So we had an old shed that we have since torn down, but we could hear something. It sounded bipedal and large. And of course, my first thought is a person, it's a trespasser, but I couldn't figure out what got the dog so riled up because he's so docile. It's one of those things. And so I basically, warned the person that, we're not playing around here, basically, let us know who you are, what's going on. And I heard the most god awful scream / howl / raise the hair on the back of your head scream that I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, okay, well that was weird. I'm glad I'm up here on this deck, way up off the ground. Let's put it this way. And then about 100 yards across our yard here on the other side of the woods, about 100 yards, something answered it with the same god awful scream / yell / raise the hair on the back of your head sound that I've ever heard. And then you could hear it start running across the yard. Again, it's pitch black, dark. I don't know how big it had to be to. I feel like I could feel the ground moving, kind of thing. It was that intense. And I came, and not a lot bothers me. I mean, we watch a lot of scary movies, and I'm a pretty decent sized guy. Not a lot scares me, but I came in on blood was drained from my face. I should say we lived in the middle of the woods at the end of the dead road behind the gate. We're very isolated back here. So I come in the house and Cal says, "What was it, Daddy?" And we'd already brought him in the house. We were scared. He was a little kid. And I said, "I think maybe in a deer it's gone now." One of those things. And Jeff and I talked later. I'm like, man, that was odd. That was a weird experience. So fast forward about 3 years, you're watching a show called Finding Bigfoot with Matt Moneymaker. And they played some alleged Bigfoot recordings. And Jennifer and I both looked at each other in disbelief. And it's like, that is what we heard 3 years ago. And so, yeah, that kind of, when that happens to you, you kind of stop and think, hey, maybe there's something to all this. You know, you definitely have an open mind with it. So that's their experience with it.
We had a cryptid hunter on the show, talked to him, and he was a big dude. He was like 6'4", 6'5". He's a big man. And him and his friend went out there and, to Bigfoot hunt. And, they're out there, they split up. They went, one went down one trail, went down the other, and they're out there looking for him and whatnot. And he had an encounter too, where he heard the running, and then he heard the running after him, and so he ran too. He was running, but he's a big dude, and he says, well, screw this, I'm 300 pounds, I'm gonna fight. He turned and spun to face the Bigfoot, and he says that the Bigfoot was bigger than he was. He was taller than he was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He says, I'm like 6'4", and it's like he was like close to 7 foot, and he could run. But he seemed more surprised at the hunter than he was anything else. So they ran, they looked at each other, they sliced each other up, looked at each other, and then they went their separate ways. They both turned and ran away from each other, but they ran and saw each other. He said, yeah, I don't have to do this very much, tilt his head back. Says, I will still hear my head back. I think that's interesting too is about the fact that I think people get tied into the fact that there's one Bigfoot, but there's people who think that there's maybe they live in their regions. They don't go very far. Like they're like in Washington State or Ohio or Tennessee or where there's a lot of woods, not very many people. I think maybe you could make an argument that they live there, and they migrate to other areas. I mean, I'm not, a friend of mine, he and I, we actually did a podcast on his channel about Bigfoot, and like some of what people were saying. And it's funny, it's funny when you first start thinking about Bigfoot, like you said, it's like a lot of times people laugh at it, but the more you start poking around and start thinking about it, the possibility of this, why the hell not? Who's not to say that Bigfoot is not? I can't tell you there's no such thing as a Bigfoot. I can't say there is, but I sure as hell can't say there isn't. because there's just too many
Yeah,
people out there.
we're pretty rational people, and we were pretty shook up that night, and it definitely opened our minds to the possibility. Yeah, there could be something to this, you know. And Kal-El and I recently, while filming Tennessee Bigfoot 3, we were way back on our property, and it was a really dark night. And in the back of my head, I thought, man, I hope we don't run into a real Bigfoot while I'm here in this costume. This is one of those things. It's always in the back of your mind a little bit. You know? Yeah. And my wife said about that time the coyote started yelping and everything. So it definitely plays on your mind, even when you're filming this movie, that they could be watching you film said movie, and it's definitely an interesting thought.
You're probably sitting there going like, one, I certainly hope that we don't run into a Bigfoot, but
right.
I do hope that if we do run into a Bigfoot, I pray that it's a female.
Yeah.
So I think that's fun. I think that's fun. I think it's that would be interesting to film. If you set up a table again, have you filmed your experiences at the conventions? You guys rent a table out and set it up and whatnot. Have you filmed that experience yet?
I haven't yet. No.
You told your experience.
I did tell my experiences at one convention in front of like 500 people, and I was like so nervous because I've never like got up on stage and done that before, but I did do it.
He was very poised, and he was very he told it very well. He articulated his experiences very well, and I think got him a couple of movie sales too when it went back to the table. So
yeah,
it done pretty well.
How has the movie sold for you? If you don't have to give me the exact copy sales, but have you made your money back yet?
Oh yeah, definitely. We've been selling them on eBay, as you know, and Etsy, and now TikTok Shop, and we've been doing very good with all that.
Yeah, and plus the conventions too. I mean, he sold out at the Wildman convention in Menville, Tennessee, last August. He sits up at that every year, so he actually sold out of movies. So we had some disappointed people. Yeah.
I guess going forward, do you take like 100 per? You take 100 per show, or 200 per show, and then because you're right, people will buy it. I mean, I've been to plenty of Comic Cons, and if you have it, they want it.
Yeah, at least 100 per show. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now the first Bigfoot was pretty much just you and your dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you expanded the world of Bigfoot in Bigfoot 3, or have you incorporated some new actors to come on in and help expand the world a little bit, or are you just going to go with the found footage?
We have not expanded any cast members yet, no.
Except for my wife and his mom.
Yeah,
she's in them a little bit,
and she's actually going to be in part 3 by herself this time. She was in the part 2, 1 and 2. She was in a scene with me, but this movie she's going to be getting her own solo scene.
Yeah,
sort of like a spin-off.
No, she's just getting like a few seconds or minutes on screen.
Yeah. Hopefully she survives.
But don't you think that the Bigfoot hunter probably has earned himself, a chance to, I don't know, maybe get a final girl or something like that.
Final girl.
Yeah.
Well, you have to watch part 3 to see if she is a final girl. The dynamic of the movie itself doesn't really accommodate a large cast because we're filming in remote locations, and it's basically Cal's vlogging his camping trip, and he's kind of playing himself, because he's a vlogger. Right. And he vlogs everything, so he's just vlogging the camping trip and all these other unfortunate events unfold during that time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really, maybe if you went further with it, made it part 4, 5, 6, and 7, we'd probably have to pull in some more people. But part 1, 2, and 3 of the storylines and everything is just very isolated, and it's just basically him versus Bigfoot and the occasional motorist that comes along every once in a while. Yeah. So
I like the way you said that. Bigfoot 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm thinking you're
well, he has a lot of fans, and they come from from age 8 to 88. I'm literally, and there's a particular group of young fans that were asking about the next movie, and he said, "Oh yeah, here's the trailer and all that." And they love the Tennessee Bigfoot 3 trailer. He says it's going to be my last one, and they both collectively just gasped. They're like, "No, you need to make at least 5." So,
yeah, I said this too.
When consensus, the people that have really been following his journey from the beginning, they want more. They want more, but at the risk of watering down the story, we've learned a lot from other franchises that sometimes 3's enough, kind of thing. So that's right now.
I wish Halloween would have gotten that message.
Halloween, yes, I agree with you on that one.
Yes, you gotta know when to quit. You have to know when to quit.
What about before we go into the music aspect of this? What young directors, your peers, what movies have you seen that you really enjoyed? If you got a chance to meet any of these young directors out there right now, is there anybody in particular you would like to meet, maybe shadow for a day?
I don't have anybody at the top of my mind currently.
No, we've met a lot of people over the years. He met James Hugh Courtney, the current Michael Myers.
That was a dream come true.
That was Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers. He's met him. Spoken extensively with them about their experiences, playing Michael Myers. Little known fact, Kal-El makes a great Michael Myers. He was a local celebrity here at all the downtown Halloween events there for a few years when Halloween had its reboot. We met Lee Majors. We were speaking about him. Lindsay Wagner. And of course, we brought up the Bigfoot episodes. We met them and got some insight there. So that was a lot of fun.
I bet you if we asked Jamie and Lee, what episodes, I'm sure I know I can say the two I think that people would talk about the most would be the fembots and Bigfoot.
Definitely. We're kind of team Andre the Giant when it comes to Ted Cassidy did a great job, but I don't think he captured Bigfoot the way Andre the Giant did. I mean, that guy he's a legend. That's all there is to it. I try to do Bigfoot justice, but I'll never be an Andre the Giant. Let's put it that way.
Well, his Bigfoot could drink, like 240 beers in one setting, though. I think what he said. I think they said that he drank one time on an airplane. He drank like 60 cans of beer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had an insatiable appetite from all the stories I've read over the years, and he was quite the man. He really was.
Let's talk a little bit about music. Boy, this is flying by tonight. Thanks for coming by and doing this. It's really cool to catch up with you. And it's been really fun to watch you grow too. That's what I've really been watching. It's like, he's gonna pop here pretty soon. That's the best thing I like about doing the show is the meeting young people such as yourself, actors, directors, whatnot, and they're young and they're very tough. They're very talented, and it's fun to see them grow. So this is a lot of fun for me. Now we're going to go into my wheelhouse, which is not Bigfoot, but I do like music. And So let's talk about the music aspect of it. Now, are you what kind of music do you like? What's your favorite?
Mainly pop. I mainly make pop music, but I do a mix of everything. I do like pop, rap, rock, everything.
So pop goes like so with someone between like Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter. Which one do you think is the better songwriter?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Who do you think is the better singer or songwriter? Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's extremely talented. Now who do you listen to? I mean, do you have CDs at the house, or do you have or Spotify? I mean, what's on your playlist? What kind of
I
bands
mainly
are on
listen to
your?
records.
Oh, you listen to
Vinyls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many vinyls do you have now?
Probably like 630.
630 vinyls. This kid's old school.
Yeah.
He loves physical media because he's like, Dad, if the internet goes down, if the grid goes down, what are you going to listen to? You can't always stream things, So he likes his physical media. He probably has 3,000 movie DVDs and 630 vinyls. So he's a media man, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't know you had that kind of. I didn't know you had that kind of that movie collection. That's pretty interesting. So there's plenty for you to draw upon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
But as far as the music goes, where'd you learn how to play? Was that something that you got from you, Dad? To learn how to play guitar and the songwriting?
He does vocals. He has a great singing voice. I know I'm his dad, but I'm being completely honest. He has a great singing voice. He has great writing abilities. I mean, we'll just be doing random things during the day, and he's like, he'll just stop and he'll record like music into his phone, like lyrics into his phone, and then he'll stop and go, all right, now what are we talking about? Kind of thing. So he'll get these random song ideas, as we're going along during the day. But he just always had that talent. I mean, he's loved music ever since he was a kid. He's just always had a natural ability for singing and for listening to the music and picking out beats and composing. So we're really proud of him.
Thank you.
So everything is DIY. Like you had no formal training or anything. You just picked it up by ear. What do you think is harder to write, a pop song or a ballad? I mean, that's got to be because you don't really. I guess I mean, or do you ever do any country, or is that just too much? Is that typecasting you? Do you like country music?
I've done some country. I don't do a lot of country, but I do at times listen to country music, mainly like old country music, like Dolly Parton or something. But I have written some country music that I would like to release eventually. So,
and he's a big fan of Crystal Gale, Loretta Lynn. We actually visited her house a couple of years ago where she grew up. It was actually the cabin in Butcher Holler. That was a lot of fun. I believe, was it her niece that gave us the tour of it?
Or one of her sisters.
No, it was her niece.
Oh, okay,
and so that was a big deal for us. Yeah, he's a big Loretta Lynn fan, Dolly Parton, Crystal Gale, and yeah, he's pulled from a lot of different genres to make his own unique sound. And he even wrote a song for Tennessee Bigfoot 3, which people can hear at the end of the movie, but you got to say, past the end credits kind of thing. So, yeah,
very excited.
Are you doing mid credit? Are you doing mid credit scenes?
What'd you say?
Are you doing mid credit scenes as you're rolling the final credits? Do you stop it and show a little clip?
Yes, we will. Yes,
yeah.
We're gonna do like I'll do like some recaps. Since it's the last movie, we'll do some like recaps of the first, second, and then the third one. Yeah. And while the song is playing, for the music video.
Yeah. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
It will be fun.
I think that's a sign of I think it's a sign of how good you're doing. Is based on the people's reaction to it. You know, they want more of it. You know, same thing with your book. They love your book and they want to see more of it. You know, and you know, I think that's just, you know, I think it's a sign of, you know, you doing it right. You know, you're basically what they say. You know, give them what the people want. You know,
Yeah.
and so I think you're doing that, and I love the fact that idea your, you know, your mom and dad are so involved with that. Now, have you gone out? Have you performed live yet, as far as your music goes?
I have not, no.
I had a feeling about that. That's a little bit more difficult. That's a little
He's
bit more
thought about
difficult
it.
than chasing a
We have
Bigfoot.
so many irons in the fire right now, with the movies and the book and whatnot. That's just kind of on the back burner, but that's not something he's really pursuing right now. Maybe at some point, though.
No, I agree. You know, I don't think we don't want him thinned out too much. You know, as to lose, you know, Tennessee Bigfoot 3, you know, storyline. You know, like I said, you want to keep you want to keep the fires hot. You know, the storytelling hot.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what are your plans going forward for now? And what do you want to do for the rest of the other year?
I eventually, well, this is my last Tennessee Bigfoot movie, but we will be getting into more Tennessee creatures. You know, I'll keep making movies, but with different creatures. So we have like a lot of lore here with monsters, with a bunch of different monsters. So I would like to eventually do stuff with all of
Are you
that.
gonna do? Just promise me one thing. Promise me that if you do a Wendigo story, you'll get a really good costume for it.
Oh yeah, I would love to. Definitely. Wendigo is on the list.
Yeah, I saw someone do a Wendigo movie, and they did not do so well. But I know you will. I know that you will create a very good Wendigo story. Um, I tell you what, I think that's all the questions I got.
All right.
I want to say thank you to the chat who came out and hung out with us, and of course I want to thank you very much too, to the Neal family. Oh, I guess I'll ask one more question just to see what you guys think. But what did you think of the new Superman movie from last year and this new Supergirl movie?
Oh.
we thought they were very good and very well cast and very entertaining as far as Superman goes. Maybe a little over the top with the I don't know, with the cheesiness a little bit. I don't know another word to use really.
Yeah,
But it got a little silly and goofy at times, but at the same time, you know, it's pulled from a comic book. So it was kind of true to life. We really enjoyed it. We of course bought it on DVD after watching it at the movies and rewatched it. And we do have high hopes for the Supergirl movie. We're really looking forward to that. It's going to be playing when we're in Knoxville at FrankenCon. He's going to be set up there selling his movies and T-shirts and everything. But we plan on going to see it in Knoxville when it comes out.
Yeah.
At the movie, so we're really looking forward to the new Supergirl movie.
And I actually have a single coming out called Supergirl in honor of the movie coming out when the movie comes out. So
yeah, that'll be on YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah.
I was just I'll be honest. We talked about this yesterday with Frank Merrill, but you know, before he got here. But I just gotta say I thought the Lobo casting is gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I want Sasha Cali to play the part. I want her to pick. Yeah, I do not like the girl they picked at all. No, someone said that she looked like Shaka from Land of the Lost.
We've seen a lot of those memes going around. Hopefully,
but you know what?
Supergirl movie will be less campy than the Superman movie because that was their opinion walking out. Very good movie. but a little bit campy, at times.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Supergirl movie will be better than that. We're going to go in with an open mind and, see what happens. That's the way it is with casting always. There'll be some people that love the choices, some that don't. So we'll see how it plays out and go from there.
Yeah, I was I saw I agree with you about the campiness part. I mean, I hated I heard him call it the Justice Gang, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's just James. That's James Gunn. He does the same.
Yeah.
He did the same. He did the same stuff with Guardians of the Galaxy, and he thoroughly messed that up. I mean, that's the worst thing that Marvel put out, in my opinion, was those three
Right.
Guardian movies. I hated every single one of them. But that's just James Gunn. He has his way of seeing
That's
things.
what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wish to hell that he would sit down and crack open a comic book once in a while and read the stories that were there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
we
right,
agree with that. We enjoy them. They're not bad movies, but I had really high hopes for Superman, and when we walked out, we were all just kind of like, it was entertaining, it was one of those things, but it didn't really live up to expectations for us, but hopefully Supergirl will be, a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Momoa, I think he'll, he likes doing the superhero movies.
Now they nailed that one. Jason Momoa as Lobo.
Yeah.
Looks like he stepped right out of the comic. He's a great actor. I think he'll make a better Lobo than Aquaman. Let's put it that way.
And he made a great
really do.
Aquaman.
I think they nailed it. I don't think they could have gotten anybody any better for that role.
No.
So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to his scenes in that movie.
Definitely.
All right. I want to thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with us for a little bit. I appreciate your time, and I'll definitely keep my eye on you, Kal-El. And when you come out with your next book or Tennessee Bigfoot 5, we'll definitely have you come back and hang out with us. Hang out with us, or the Wendigo if you want to do Wendigo, or better yet, if you want to do a Wendigo versus Bigfoot. Just let us know, and we'll have you come back and we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. I love that.
All right, with us, what are we gonna do? We will be back next week. We'll be back next week. I'll tell you who we have here. We have a busy week here on the channel. Let's see. We have next Tuesday. We have makeup artist Shauna Marie will be here with us. Really nice, talented young lady who's doing pretty much like what you did, Kal-El, just learning as she goes, and she's actually gotten pretty good at makeup, and we're gonna go talk to her about her experiences, and I think it'll be an interesting story. And she'll be here on the 16th at 8 o'clock. The 17th we had a reschedule from last week. We had the lovely Andrea Garces Lopez. She'll be coming and hanging out with us and talking all things 7 Days to Hell, and Griselda, talking a little about her experience on Griselda. And then on the 18th, we have Dove Cameron and Lamb will be here, and we'll be talking about, she is a seriously talented young lady. She's a playwright, she's a singer, she's a writer. She's probably one of the more talented people I've ever had on the show. And she's coming next Thursday. So my challenge is to find some good questions to ask, because she's pretty intimidating. All right. Thank you guys so much for your support. Wouldn't be here without it. And we will see you next Tuesday. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Good night.